she was just looking around left, right, center. I'm like, how do you think that people in traffic cannot see you are picking the buffaloes from the floor? I thought she was going to dump it, but she just coldly added it to the ones they carry with the rabbits. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I like this buffalo. I buy it most of the time. How many of the buffaloes have I bought that were the ones that dropped on the floor? It's not just her. A number of times I've seen that the pure water sellers also, they something happens, one falls down, or even the entire thing falls down. They pick them as if they are going to dump them away, but they sell them to the public again. It's whether you're stremo, one more ton idea or quite hono. Obi or to me to ABD. Now I call food poison. So on Kai Crass beer or the street food and our BB and our coffee sadia and their brand. The other time there was also videos circulating of a woman or mashi kenke, and she was stepping in the kenke with her feet. This is something that we are putting in our system. Consider us, put a bit of personal hygiene in there, because you're told us why never to you understand what I'm saying? So please, let's be our brother's keeper. And talking of being our brother's keepers, today the jabs are starting, the COVID-19 vaccines are starting, and one of the most important messages they want you to know is that we should be going to the centers sequentially. The jab actually is for those who took the first one, but apparently when they went, I didn't take it, so I say when they went. I know Eric took it, so he can give as much details about what happened when he went to take his own. So those who took it, from the ones that took it 1st of March, you are the ones that have to go there first. So if you didn't go there 1st or 2nd of March, then please check your dates and then go there sequentially, so that there won't be a lot of crowding and the people will be able to take her. Because you might go and stay in the queue, as the Ishmael indicated yesterday. You might go and stay in the queue for a very long time. It will get to you and they will tell you that you are not eligible to take it because you are supposed to maybe come tomorrow or tomorrow's next. So please, let's take note of that. But before we delve into much details of what will be happening on the morning update today, amidst the newspaper reviews and the newspaper headlines, and of course the news by Wisdom Header Jome, I would like to quickly take my weather report so that I can shield you from maybe rain or even too much sunshine. But regardless, carry your umbrella, as I say always, and of course I'll leave you with business tidbits. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the morning update. So yes, the one thing that resonated with regards to the business tidbits is the fact that look for someone that you can easily talk to, and it also applies in relationships. You need to get someone that you can easily talk to, someone who won't come to you screaming on top of their lungs, because trust me, if you come to me that way, we are not going to have any reasonable conversation. It will just be who shouts higher than who. That's what's going to happen. So please, let's take note of that. As we are on business, quickly I'll run through a few things. First off is the Lawson Group of medicines. So we have the Lawcare mixture for the females. So it kills gonorrhea, syphilis, infertility, bilharzia, waist pains. Yesterday I had waist pains, and so I'm definitely getting it this morning as well. Also the Delayman capsules for the men who are not able to go longer than we expect you to. Also the Lawson herbal mixture is there, and the Lawson herbal ointment. If you have joint pains or body pains, then please get that as well. Or you can call them on 0242 133 577 or 0248 619999. Later on, I'll also talk about the distribution channels that you can go through if you want to buy bulk purchases. Also, my #1 sponsor, X Natural Mineral Water, simply natural as I am looking. And that brings me to Black Secret Makeup. If you want to look as natural, then please, that is your go-to. Most affordable brands and quality makeup as well. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Abna.
Today you're looking like a king.
Yes.
Sitting in your chair in all your glory.
Add more. Flatter me this morning. I listened
Which food are you describing today?
Today, Mamanka Fanti.
Okay.
Wafrano Dokonum Potoi.
Aha.
And then yeah, I think it raises a lot of concern. The role of the Health Inspectorate Department of all the various district assemblies is to ensure that their task force go to markets, go to people who sell by the streets and so on, and ensure that they are doing the right things. We pay them every month. But all they do is to sit in the offices or maybe chat. Apart from that, the Food and Drugs Authority must also intensify their education. And then, as you said, so ekotaza, shebebia erotazano, mawonyo nkomo. Na se hunde nyipakrono aza oriya no onyaka. Sa wanka jede ebotaza wo ono na obobo, because your own health is most important to you than complaining about somebody not doing it the right way. And that's all I can say. It's my friends.
I will say it. I would describe it and because the other time. Hey, no, this is discrimination.
Do you know Ashanti's people who come from the Kriapim area? They enjoy Fanti.
But I do.
They say Fanti sounds sexy.
Kriapim sounds sexy.
Oh, I am a dog. You. What is you? Well, that's how I want to welcome you to our program today. This is TV XYZ, Xyz TV. It's now time for the newspaper headlines. I have the Ghanaian Times, I have the Herald newspaper, the Inquisitor, and the Chronicle newspaper. What do you have?
I have Daily Graphic, Business and Financial Times, and Daily Post. So
the front page of the Ghanaian Times has exciting stories. I'll read all the headlines. The banner headline here says, massive demolition exercise in Accra. Unauthorized structures along ceremonial roads removed. And we also have the EC chair in the picture on the front page. They are talking about electoral reforms. And then the youth demanding astroturf in some parts of the country. And then efforts to save water bodies. Government to dredge Barikese and Owari rivers. All these are captured on the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Now, the back page says, Tema General Hospital in drastic shortage of blood due to COVID-19 outbreak. And there's an announcement here. The 2021 Population and Housing Census is also captured. It's beginning at the end of June. Avail yourself, because the data to be gathered by the Ghana Statistical Service will be of interest to government for development.
Eric, the blood shortage thingy.
The story.
Remember 2 days ago, Ridge Hospital also published that they have run out of blood as well.
Yes, I think the blood bank at Kolebu has equally been complaining. There used to be a club, and so people periodically go to facilities and donate blood. And then along the line, there were rumors that people steal the blood and sell them to money ritualists. And these things watered down the public interest. I also remember when I was in the secondary school, for example, there were clubs. So they would come to my school, and then students who are willing will go and then donate blood. It looks like that enthusiasm has dropped.
Yes.
I would rather...
I think the awareness has gone down as well.
And see, Mesre, there's a asupiti na wa check no was wa pom ye jana sebutuma donate blood. You see, the benefits are in there. Maybe we have to go to the blood bank, invite them to educate the public on what is in there for you, and let's save lives.
Yes, let's say also what I can tell you have a lot of blood.
Oh yes, but so, I don't know whether my blood has some beer in it. That is all I can say. That's all I can say. I wanted to run away from that. Now the center spread of the Ghanaian Times has pictures of the demolition exercise that took place around the Graphic Road in Accra. The regional minister says it continues unabated. And I believe if you live in any of the slums around or along the ceremonial streets, what you need to do is to take guard or move peacefully before you become homeless.
Right. Now, in the Daily Graphic, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Godfred Yeboah-Dame, has stated that the GES, through the mandate of the President of the Republic of Ghana, will be coming up with certain policies to resolve the issue of religion or certain religious bodies thinking that they are being suppressed in missionary schools. And so in order to enforce harmony in missionary schools, they will be coming up with certain policies. This is in regards to
the Wesley girls.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Now, on the front page, it's saying that decongestion, unauthorized structures go down in Accra. Now, the MTN president louds Ghana's stock exchange, whereas reset rules for Africa's development. This is coming from the president to the Bretton Woods institution. GRA also offers tax incentives to businesses, and they're saying that the businesses who do not take advantage of this will have to suffer the consequences. Now, there is an interesting story here. So apparently, since Ghana attained independence, the 2020 election was the very first to have seen funding from the President of the Republic of Ghana and not external forces. On the back page is a very sad story, which I will be discussing today on the social segment. We've had three different ages. We've had 15, 14, and 16. But regardless, we know that it's a teenager who was found hanging in her secondary school. The family is refusing to accept that it's suicide. We'll delve deeper into this conversation, as I indicated, on the social segment. Now, again, it says that government invests in infrastructure in 3 new regions, which is happy news considering what we are facing now. So,
controversy captured on the front page of the Herald newspaper. This one comes with a picture of Justice Clemens Onyega, Dr. Stephen Opuni, and Godfred Dame, the Attorney General. The headline here says, I have the right to reject evidence exonerating Opuni and Agongo. Justice Onyega gives reason for throwing out submission of no case. National security chiefs behind Opariado's forceful eviction. NPP's Kamal Dean is quoted to have said, in fact, the National Security Coordinator himself has spoken, and he insists that those who chased or handcuffed DCOP Ayensu Opare-Ado are national security operatives. DCOP Ayensu Opare-Ado has been a police commander for the Ashanti region, and he also insists that he knows those guys who came to arrest and assault him very well, and he can vouch that they are members of the Delta Force. So at this stage, I don't know whether it was members of the Delta Force who have been drafted into the national security, and for which reason the National Security Coordinator is saying they are national security operatives, or Opare-Ado is lying, or he knows them and government is lying. So 3 faces. Take what you want. And the other story here says, Songo youth to mine over 500,000 bags of salt annually. You know, there's been problem with the investor here. The indigents are saying that they are against any attempt to give that concession to a private investor because it will deny them of what they see as the source of their livelihood on daily basis. Now, I can only hope that they will conduct what we call environmental impact assessment. Anytime any company wants to mine in an area, They do this with community members. They raise concerns, they address issues, jobs to be created, even if they have to divert roads, land to be acquired, compensations to be paid, and so on. If they raise the hopes that youth will get jobs, but they use technology to mine, and a lot of people don't get jobs, maybe 4 or 5 or maybe 50 people, that is likely to create a lot of agitation. So this issue must be properly managed by the investor and the traditional leaders in the area, Abna.
But instead of bringing in experts, I'm sure they can train some of them to
handle they will.
The machinery.
Productivity correlates with how you can reduce cost. And so if you bring machines to mine salt, rather than the traditional way where you just
see the people.
They dig something like a small trench and then collect the seawater, allow it to dry naturally, and then they fetch it, and people just go and do it their own way. But if they bring technology, they are going to zone the area. It will be a no access area, and so the company then will employ a few people. If the value chain does not include more, I bet you, I have been to Songo very often, and this issue has been there for ages. It is likely to create problems.
Well,
the Inquisitor front page. Now let me do this before you come in. IES market scams. Springfield ENI delay utilization directive. And we have new normal after COVID-19. Asamoah Boateng, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, is demanding what he describes as sophisticated leadership. Sophisticated leadership. I'm wondering what sophisticated leadership means. But that's it on the front page of the paper Inquisitor. Abna.
Right. So on the front page also of the Business and Financial Times, it says here that the city records no loss of value in 5 consecutive months. Also, government to commence dredging of Barikese and Awabi rivers. SIM registration to last 7 months. It begins in June and ends in December. So citizens and foreign residents can only register with the Ghana card. As we are on Ghana card, it says here that newborns to get Ghana card in a month. On the back page, however, Jaspon's Florence Labi wins top CEO award, whereas groundbreaking ceremony for EU funded 670-kilometer feeder roads held. Now, there's something interesting on the page 17 of the Business and Financial Times. Now, it says, let's go farming. Where does your food come from? Which was a question that was put to a student of one of the JHS in the country. And this was the answer. It says that our food comes from the market. It comes from the villages to the market. And my mother brings it home. Now, this is actually to encourage all of us to go into farming. I remember, well, I wasn't born at the time, but a lot of times my mother has said it, and I know a lot of people in my hometown that practice subsistence farming. So in Kweo, almost every house has a backyard farm, which is something that I think should be implemented. Exactly. We should all try.
Feed yourself.
Feed yourself.
Have you heard of General Kutu Achampon before?
Yes, I've heard of.
You were not born then.
You see, so I know the story.
Well, Operation Feed Yourself.
It was a good initiative.
Very good initiative.
And I think we should go ahead with it. I'm about to start one in my house. I have a small what's it called, sandy area outside, like on my compound. So I want to start planting tomatoes and pepper and things like that.
Add okra. Okra has a lot of nutrients.
Yeah, and ginger.
Nkrumah. Now, registration of SIM cards with Ghana card begins end of June. That's what the Vice President said earlier. The Communication Minister has also emphasized this. The explanation is that it is going to be linked with your national ID database, which will enhance monitoring and, of course, to prevent Momo fraud, SIM box fraud, and other forms of illegal activities. Now, there's another story here which says journalists urge to increase reportage on child protection. That's on page 24 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. My interest here is about the narrative. I would wish that the social welfare department is well equipped. Anybody can visit any social welfare department across the country, and it's even worse when you go to the hinterland. Now, if consistently over the years, it didn't start today, government deliberately under-resource these departments, how can all what journalists will do end positively? That is the issue. Deliberately, because they have the public purse, and they know that we have the high rate of poverty in this country is something nobody can deny. We drive around and we know the abuse that goes on. And we see children begging on the streets. Recently, you were talking about them.
Yes.
And so if you want to address these issues, you can only equip departments that are entrusted with the law to ensure that even if they have to take custody of the children, they will adequately or efficiently manage them. But that's not the problem, Abena. Wisdom is around the corner.
Yes, but before he comes, there is a disturbing picture on the front page of the Daily Post. I saw Ifya Odo post this on Instagram the last time. That's a pregnant woman that is being carried to the hospital because she's in labor. And as you can see the headline, it says how Akufo-Addo has turned Ghana's health facilities into death traps. This is something that needs to be looked at a lot.
Michael Dokosi, good morning. Wisdom Hedejoma will join us shortly for the news headlines.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
And in this bulletin, massive demolishing exercise to get rid of slums in Accra continues in earnest amidst cases, but authorities vowed never to backtrack. Also, compulsory re-registration of SIM card stoked public anger. Dr. Bawumia has been directed to consult with the NCA to rather do that exercise and not Ghanaians who have already registered via SIM card. And are you ready as Ghanaians get ready for the second jab of COVID-19 vaccines? And later, I'll tell you, GPRTU is under attack for delay in increasing transport fares. My name is Wisdom Hedejome. Ready? And it was an emotional exercise for many Ghanaians who were yesterday thrown out of their places where they've been living over decades, as the Greater Accra Regional Minister led a team of joint police and military persons to pull their structures down. Henry Corte says the exercise that Let's Make Accra Work Again will continue in part of the country. Other allied security agencies were also there. You can see in your shot the task force is ongoing with the demolishing. They said they served notice to all the residents along the Graphic Road area and the Blue Overpass, as we can see for yourself. And so the exercise started around 4 a.m. and as we speak, it is still ongoing. The residents here say this exercise actually has taken them by storm because they were not well informed, because the notice did not include those living around this particular area. So let me find out from them what really happened. You said you were not giving prior notice.
Yeah. Yesterday they came and they announced that they were going to clear the pavement side, not inside here. And today it is a surprise for us that now they are not clearing here. No notice. We didn't take our goods.
So what are the things you have left in the structures that have been destroyed?
You can't take anything because I like this. They call me from work. As I got here, they started clearing everything. So it is bad. It is bad. We are human beings. We are not animals. You can't just come at once and be clearing here like that.
Me what is ya 30 years in me. Ebra na tue ne kwa ba no na me what is ya bi. Ye ya ka no. So enipa bi dia ba na ya azan. Adia baya nuoma adia ye o ma ne sa. Wo mama ya ne ye wo fom ne hu se ade ne mu odin na emu ade na nipa me nko na su edidi a ye nyina ayo man na fem
enu akra ye nyina ha no na eda enu a ha no na nyina eda se nim se o ma ba bu enu ma na kan enu a ya be da no to ye be prepare ye se ye be yi enu ma but o mu kan kire ya fi all of a sudden mi kwa ma kwa aduma na ya fa na ba o mu ma kisi ya chiro o mu chiro shi good da bia wo it would be good da it ya be se o ma be ti se o se be go bia se chiro I say no notice there's no notice there are the old people old women are there. We are begging everybody. We are not fighting with anybody. If it is government, we don't fight with government. But we are begging. There's no notice.
I was on a barrier for baby Mohammed. Every say, they are back on the wall. Yes, I'm watching water. Like I say, I'm a boo boo bit down. Boo boo bit down. I'm a man and I read from Namaba.
You see, they did not inform us. That is our problem that we are having here.
So what are you going to do from here?
No, I don't know. Right now, I don't know where I'm going. You see, they have destroyed my shop and where I'm sleeping, so I don't know where I'm living now.
Would you make another structure here?
No, I will do that because I don't know anywhere. I don't have anywhere to go. You see, I will do some structure for here because I don't have anywhere to go.
What do you have to say? Any American and everyone you pressure people go hospital. Are they? Or beyond them, Sadia brothers. Now, no one channel that. Are they? Samly, me 2,000 crime in the family. I'm not going to be a for some beton. Me family.
What I'm saying is the government know that we are Ghanaians? Is the government really know that we are Ghanaians?
Okay, so the residents are... And now the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Corte, says the exercise will continue in parts of the country to ensure sanity. However, says that persons who are dealing in scraps have been made some special provisions.
Part of the decongestion exercise, combined with sanitation or cleaning the place, so it's decongestion and cleanup. Now, you would agree with me that from Obechebi to UTC, most of the companies are here, headquarters. You have Japan Motors, you have Toyota Gamos, you have Honda, Bayer Man is here, Graphic is here, you have ABC, is it? Accra Brewery, sorry. Yes. Now, from Obechebi to UTC, when you drive along here, my brother, the site is not good. And what even makes it worse is that if you Google, you notice that on the issue of e-waste, this area has been declared as the worst, in fact, #1 in Africa, if not West Africa. And then some, the whole world. This area is number 10. There has been a BBC story on it.
Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's threat that if you do not register your SIM card, you may lose it, has stoked public anger. Now, Dr. Bawumia says the exercise will involve the use of national ID cards to re-register all SIM cards to get the cyberspace of fraud. But a cross-section of persons TVX was the news engaged were livid. They say that Dr. Bawumia should rather direct the National Communication Authority and the telcos to do that exercise.
When it was like our I had too late because anyway, I want to say I want to about Ghana, but I want to know.
But for me, I don't think it's reasonable because we have already registered, so there's no need for us to register it again.
I don't see the reason why we should register it again. Also, it's already registered. So what about the people at the village, those who doesn't have any smartphone, how can they register on their phone? And the time? Oh, no, it's not possible. To me, I don't think there's a reason. I don't see any sensible thing in it.
Well, let's talk about the security now, because the National Security's professional conduct, which came under scrutiny following the exercise by officers of the party, officers suspected to be party boys rather than trained personnel, is raising some possible inclusion if immediate steps are not taken to address the challenge. Now the concerns follows embattled Ashanti Regional Coordinating Secretary DCOP Ayensu Opariado's harrowing experience in the hands of persons identified as members of MPP vigilante group Delta Force. Now MP for Wa West, Superintendent retired Peter Lanchene Tobu, who was also former executive secretary to then IGP Peter Asante, appeared to describe the development as an affront to the security of the country. Well, let's move on to some other stories. And drivers frustrated by the Ghana Private Road Transport, GPRTU's shooting down of the 20% lorry fare increase days ago, are accusing leadership of compromising. Now they say that though the processes must continue, the delay is long overdue. Let's hear some drivers.
It should come straight. Then we the drivers, we know what to do, because now the diesel is up, and we are suffering now.
This is the 400. Say you can't for. You say no man can. I must say you share buying him. So about two days, about two. Station for about 2 for the mama. I'm mutuma. I'm must be who don't buy. Of I say I buy the one more rubber for. You say the whole chile. Of I say why you boy good. Why how? Don't know. You be jao. You say petrol don't do come. You say in and out. Me talk 4 million. Keka go to away. Yes, 6 million.
GPRT phone in an ear penny. So I say, won't mean fit, would rather not mean fit black bank as Okutaka. In Tipan, Rabba Tracker and to obey day. Would open about to Kemo. Ye penny phone in an GPRT formula and a day. Ye this war. 2 bus stations, no plan other stations in the year. Ye in other in a GPRT for a day. I said, did the GP for the bed, a GPRT for Becano, and the other bus for a day. Ye assume
8 pesos, 8 pesos. A new 1 CD. And so no, a camo biate, but Nintumu de on camo biante, Kakra fe, Sana, I could do 27. At the 19 CD, no, I could do 27 CD. Yeah, so says Nayano, and 1 a day, yeah.
Now, Ghanaians eligible to take their second doses of the COVID-19 vaccination will later this morning receive those. Now, the 350,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccines are currently available, and this has been allocated for the first batch of persons who received the doses from March 1 to March 9. The exercise is expected to end on May 26, and according to the Ghana Health Service, next text messages will be sent to persons targeted, and that no one has any businesses visiting the facility. Well, TVX was the news engaged some Ghanaians who are not eligible to take their vaccines.
That's why.
And you're not scared of contracting COVID-19?
No. Because I always protect myself. So I'm not afraid.
I'm not worried because already we don't produce the vaccines ourselves. And there's no guarantee that we can be able to meet the vaccination requirements. You get me? Yes. So I'm not worried. And I feel even if we are not vaccinated, we are not going to be affected.
Am I to think that now COVID has come to a level that, and so we should just move on?
Yes, just move on like other malaria or other common diseases around us.
Now, the Ghana Armed Forces will from next Monday begin what they describe as an anti-terrorism training exercise, code-named Exercise Eagle Clause 2021. This will take place in the northern sector of the country. Now, the anti-terrorism exercise, which shall involve other security and intelligence agencies, is intended to consolidate security for national development. The 4-day simulation training, which aimed at testing and preparing participants of the ongoing Operation Conquered First, is to ensure efficiency at role and mission accomplishment. It will end on Friday, May 28. It is urging that those living within the designated zones take note and do not panic. And before we go, the two teenagers standing trial for the murder of their 10-year-old playmate will be later in court today. Well, TVXYZ News will keep a keen eye on that and keep you updated. Well, that's all time will allow this morning on News in Brief Morning Update. But that's not all yet. You can always log on to my xyzonline.com for more stories. My name is Westom Hedejome. Do have a pleasant day.
Peace of mind is very essential in your journey to success. For Akwesi Papa, peace of mind means having a proper covering over his family. Literally. For Araba, aka Injection Mama, it's about having the funds to complete her advanced nursing course. And as for Corporal Odami, it's as simple as reporting on time for his shifts. Sometimes all you need is a simple push. At Needs Microfinance, we have tailor-made loan packages for salaried workers under the Controller General's Department. With the low interest rate and quick wahala-free process, you are guaranteed of a timely solution to get back that peace of mind, literally in 30 minutes. Needs Microfinance. Growing with you.
And I Moya fantastic. Say, dear, we in charge when you feel one cassansa. Losing the layman capsules. A mouse is in Koto Juma yet drink. No bread you must have with Shankasanka. Nana, no, near.
So. Lawson Locke, Mr. And this is you. I'm always what if you want to. You're free to come to I say for semi boom down and see me, dear someone. See what Lawson Locke, Mr.
Lawson Layman Capsule.
More your pen,
more and love. Lawson Locke, Mr.
Lawson delay my capsules.
Do you know what you feel?
Delay man capsules and men if you do what they cronkwan and a low care mixture so a pay for a ma woman no for anyone I want if you do what train son can home. FD Ashisha sa a jedi and crater you mo adia to muse a
If a cry na menisika, etia ye me fui.
A hinfa pa na menya bosia, edia tre me juma yimu.
Kai kra mabre, me busia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yamamwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodoɔ bi te sɛ gadifo abosia, ekokro bosia, susu account, ɛne da so wɔ hɔ savings account, me bada chain savings account, ɛne de akeka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 034229186. Na won so wetumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Update on TV XYZ. My name is Nana Abinasewa, and this show, as always, is brought to you by X Natural Mineral Water, Simply Natural, Losing Group of Medicines, and also Black Secret Makeup. Be natural. I say always, life is not perfect, but your makeup can be perfect.